Hi, this is Anita from 5 Minutes with Art. There's two terms which can be interchanged in the art world, which sometimes can be confusing: modern art and contemporary art. So, just to make a really short definition, modern art refers to roughly from the 1860s to the 1970s. You think Picasso, Matisse, those type of artists. Contemporary art is made from the 1970s onward. So when you think about modern art was about a 90-year period or span. It was from 1860s to the 1970s, where contemporary art is from the 1970s onward. So people a lot of times get confused between these two, and they use them interchangeably, and they're not sure what the difference is in them. The common themes of modern art would be, abstraction, experimentation, innovation, whereas contemporary art was more identity, politics, technology, and critique. Modern art broke from the tradition. It's, key movements of it were like, Impressionism, Cubism, Futurism, and then abstract expressionism were some of the key areas of modern art. Like, for example, Claude Monet's, picture of the water lilies was a, break from some of the realist art which is being shown at the time. Or some of Pablo Picasso's art. Contemporary art is art that is known more to sort of like talk back, if you could say that. The world of art shifted in the 1970s. Artists started using media, video, performances, installation. They focused towards concepts, identity, politics, and questioning what art was. So some of the key features of contemporary art would be things as, art that's concept driven. Multidisciplinary, video, sound, installation. And as the world is changing, this is also really changing with art, where we're seeing, AI come into focus with art and other things like that, where, you're seeing the digital art and all of those things happening within the art world itself. A lot of times the art in contemporary art had a social commentary, and they, it's personal identity and activism. Some of them would be like displays, where it could be like the Infinity Room, done by Yayoi Kusama, where, with spaces, mirrors, and lights, which is more like an installation, something you go and you as the observer is invest in it and you're observing it. I also think of it as going like a couple years ago when it came to Milwaukee, and I went with my sister and her husband, and we went to the Van Gogh exhibitions that they had traveling around, which was all digital, and you would, sit in this space and you'd just be immersed in his paintings. Where it was on the floor and on the walls, and, it's just all around you, and you could sit there and just feel immersed into the space itself. So these are some of the, the key differences. Some of the ways to be able to tell the difference is to look at the date. If it was before 1970, it would probably be considered modern art. Afterwards, probably contemporary. Is it trying to look different or say something different? Is it traditional painting, sculptures, or does it have unexpected materials? Are there things popping out at you? And does it feel like it belongs in a history book or in a headline today? There's some different examples that, we show. I have a blog post I've written on this if you're interested in being able to learn and to be able to discover more about this. And with that, I have some frequently asked questions about modern art and contemporary art that you can be able to read through with it also. But if you're interested in it, check out our podcast, we'll have a link to it in our description below, which is entitled, "What is the Difference Between Modern Art and Contemporary Art?" And that hopefully, looking at the pictures and reading some of the frequently asked questions, it can help you to be able to better answer this question of what the difference is between these two terms, which can really be interchanged and kind of be a little bit confusing sometimes. This is Anita from 5 Minutes with Art, where we like to spend about 5 minutes with you every week to talk a little bit about art and why art matters and why art's important and why we love the art world so much. We hope that you'll continue to join with us, subscribe, and be part of our community. Thank you.